Hi everyone, Lisa Haven here, and I've got a huge report specifically in regards to Alex Jones' InfoWars warning that his CIA source is telling him that there are going to be mass terrorist attacks across the country, or could be a few terrorist attacks across the country within the next couple of months, June, July-ish, he says, and that the reason that they're doing it is to dismantle the Trump administration. Now, those are not my words, but those of Alex Jones and the sources that he's getting from inside, which he does have great information from time to time and great sources. And I'll play that clip and show you the video in a moment. But in addition to that, I also wanted to bring up Operation Dark Sky. This is a mass power outage drill that's taking place in Wisconsin through May 15th, 16th, 17th timeframe. Now, why is that important? Well, as you know, a lot of false flags have happened in places that drills have taken place. And needless to say, it's just more evidence added to the pile of how our government is preparing, and even our state and local levels are preparing in case of some kind of major power outage, which I'm assuming they expect at some point in our future. We'll take a look at this first report. This is on InfoWars, Alex Jones, and it's titled, Exclusive, CIA Warned of Massive Terrorist Attacks Targeting the United States. Deep State Poised to Strike Back. Now, this was put out April 21st. Now, what I want to play for you is what he said on his Sunday broadcast. And I'm just going to play it on my phone here. So take a listen to this.
It's basically this, and I'll flesh it out in a second now. The globalists are planning massive terror attacks all over the United States and all over Europe to blame it basically on the Trump agenda and to make enemies of Trump look like victims. All
right. So there you have it. That is a warning straight from InfoWars, and he's saying, he goes further into that report, the report I showed on the screen a moment ago, how this could be within the next couple of months and possibly blamed on North Korea. So something to keep in the back of our minds, and just a heads up and a warning. I'm not saying it will or won't happen. I am simply sharing the information that he shared on his broadcast, considering he has been right numerous times. Not every single occasion has happened, but needless to say, there is a forewarning for that. Now, that said, there is no reason to panic or be afraid or be scared. Absolutely not. Don't go change your lifestyle and make everything crazy. Just make sure you're stocked, prepared, food, water, these kinds of things, and ready to go. Gold, silver, that's why I use noblegoldinvestments.com. Now, that said, I also want to bring up the fact in this article. Now, this article was put out by ABC2, April 23rd, and it's titled, Local Communities to Train for Mass Power Outage Scenario. Now, this goes on to report that the Wisconsin National Guard is helping communities prepare for a possible long-term mass power outage. The full-scale training exercise is known as Dark Sky, happening May 15th through the 17th in Brown, Calhoun, Dane, Fond du Lac, Milwaukee, Outgame, and Winnebago counties. Utility companies, law enforcement, and first responders are all part of the simulation. The National Guard says the public may notice military presence and increase personnel during the exercise, and it will prepare for the possibility of attack on the state's infrastructure. Now, in that video clip, in that news report, which I'm not going to play here, but you can go back and play it for yourself, they talk about going door to door and knocking on people's doors and asking how prepared they are, or if they're prepared. They say, no worries, they're not going to ask you any personal information, but they do plan on sending troops door to door during this exercise. Now, why bring up this exercise along with the terrorist attacks? Good question. One, I'm sure you're thinking, well, here it is. We know that a lot of the times they plan drills, and then things happen as a result of those drills. There was a drill before 9/11 happened. There were a drill at a few of the schools, and then those happened. So a lot of the times, and sometimes they'll do drills in areas, and also Boston Marathon bombing, there was a drill even that day, preparing, if you will. So those are some of the things to think about. But here we have a drill in Wisconsin where they're preparing for mass power outages. That said, there are lots of drills that take place off and on that are preparing for mass power outages. This one is on a state level, if you will, but you've got the National Guard involved and they're helping out those counties. But either way, here's why I bring it up. First and foremost, I do believe that they think at some point in our future, nobody knows when, could be 10, 15, 20 years, could be 1 year, could be months, nobody knows, that in the future there is going to be some mass power outage of some sort. So they're preparing and getting ready for that just in case. Or what if, according to the video, that happened, which is a real thing and a real threat that we suffer and have to deal with here in America. That said, there are terrorist attacks underway. Could they do some kind of mass power outage? Absolutely. I don't put anything aside for them. All that said, I don't want you to be afraid or freaked out or scared. Am I saying that the terrorist attacks are going to spark some kind of power outage? No, I am not saying that. I am just saying, here's what they're doing. Here's the possibility. Is it possible? Sure, anything's possible. They could ram another truck on pedestrians like what happened in Ontario. They could do a myriad number of things. They're terrorists. That's what they do. It's unfortunate and it's very sad. So just keep our nation in prayer. Keep our President Trump in prayer. And again, this is just a heads up. I'm not saying this is going to happen in that area. No, highly doubtful that it will actually happen in that area. But I wanted to share you all the information so you had that. So with that, there's a heads up. It looks like our government believes that in the future there will be some kind of power outage. We also know FEMA has done multiple drills on this. Last year they did some, even this year they did some. It seems to be increasing, and that's the intensity, and that's the point I want to get across is there's more and more and more drills being held, specifically in regards to some kind of EMP attack or mass power outage attack. So these drills keep coming more often and more in intensity. So something to think about there as well. Anyhow, wanted to bring you the latest on all of that, and I'd love to get your comments and thoughts below. I'm Lisa Haven, signing out. Back in 2007, when the stock market looked like this, few people were worried because they didn't know what was going on. But look what happened next. The warning signs were there then, just like they are now. The US stock market has never been higher. Many are saying it will go higher, just like they said in 2007. Are you ready for the fall? Do you know what to do? I know what I'll be doing. I'll be calling Noble Gold. I would be finding out about gold and silver IRAs, and quickly. I would want to make sure that my 401ks and IRAs were not exposed to this kind of collapse in the market. Be on the safe side and call Noble Gold today and talk to them. The number's here.